Okay, we got 24 minutes, 54 seconds on this one. So, I recently sent one of my recent LinkedIn posts. To be honest, this is a disaster for humanity that your gatekeeping thought that you need to post on LinkedIn on specific platforms because that's how things work these days. And it's just so fascinating with people that they follow one path and all other paths are just inconceivable. And the moment the second path emerges, everyone just goes to that. Like before PewDiePie, before Mr. Beast, before whatever, YouTube was nothing. It was just, okay, maybe some people are gonna get rich out of this. But when someone becomes a billionaire at 26 off of YouTube, now everyone is a YouTuber. And now everyone is doing wild challenges. And everyone is doing like 50 edits in one video. And it just, the use of a platform or the use of a way is always condemned until it is condoned. And to make it simpler, is that even this, like, you need to translate yourself down, or I'm literally speaking in my third language, but the precision of actual thought is so important to me that I cannot articulate myself in a different way. And this makes a kind of mental friction that it's the language barrier, it's the vocabulary barrier, it's kind of lexicon barrier, whatever. And this makes it that you cannot connect with all of people. But that's fine because every innovation happens when you're actually not going the established route. Who was making YouTube videos like Mr. Beast before Mr. Beast? Because he was literally gambling on one thing that could kind of bear fruit or not. And now retroactively he's genius because it worked. And when it doesn't work, or while you're testing it, everyone is just like attacking you. Brother, I'm not telling you to how to live your life. Why you're telling me? I recently posted this LinkedIn thing that was comparing the kind of a stupidity of so a bit of context for my future self, because I'm using this for documentation, and if it goes viral, great, it goes viral my way rather than, okay, I need to edit myself 50 times and have a tie and have a shelf of books that I've never read in my entire life in the background to project authority. No, authority of a man, authority of a person is in his depth of thought being articulated in a way that is congruent with who he is. I've had so many meetings with 20 times bestsellers, philosophy this, policymaker that, and I don't see an inch of that person when I'm talking to the person, because it just, all of it just propaganda, it's performance. And I don't respect these people at all, because I don't give a fuck if you have 20 bestsellers. If you cannot if you cannot stitch together one sentence, you're nothing, because you are nothing. You're just your performance. And one of my quote unquote friends who's trying to keep the performance game, and he's literally like monetizing his connection or network, as he calls it, To be honest, it's not even network, it's just bet work. You bet on someone else's kind of uh, trajectory working, and then you leech off of that connection, as they call it. But that's just noise hunting. What I'm producing is signal. Is like I'm saying, okay, I'm meeting up with this director general, and I'm meeting her or him and treating it as two 8 years olds gushing over a toy. That's how I view people, because no matter your status, no matter your background, no matter your blood, sweat, and tears to secure that position, what you think, how you think matters most to me, because if you're gonna be insecure to play the status game, it shows that you're not actually with a person with a good attitude that's gonna go anywhere in life. Because I've had this conversations with people who try to play the status card with me, and I say, okay, brother, like we're not even starting the conversation, and you're already taking 15 minutes to give me your title that you're holding for 5 years. How you want to have an equal ground conversation? But most people, fascinatingly enough, who are at the top and epitome of the kind of power and hierarchy of actual resource allocation, they're just like they're just gushing over the same thing. It's literally two 8 years olds showing each other their their toys, and I don't understand, like, how do you kind of judge that? Because I understand majority want to see a tie and a background of books, and immediately you are the wisest person alive. I do understand that, but while I understand that, I don't want to play that game, because that's not my game. That's a game that I actually am trying to change and kind of turn it towards actual person behind the suit in front of the library. Because most of these people who have a tie and a Tom Ford suit and kind of in front of a fully stacked library, there's just nothing. I've talked to hundreds of these people, and they don't give you anything, because they just want to maintain this performance as if they are someone, as if they have something to offer. So my friend literally told me, hey, I really love your ideas and opinions, but no one reads long format LinkedIn things. And I said, okay, so it's not for them. And I'm literally documenting this for as a paper trail of how I think, and people who actually enjoy that contribute to it, and those who don't, they don't. Because as I see things is that one of my actual kind of infatuations in life is that why path A was the main source of actual reality for eternity, and someone finds path B and is literally hated for it for its entire life, but somehow someone or some people resonate with path B, and after 5, 10 years, path B becomes more popular than path A, and now path B is retroactively an act of genius. I just don't understand that. Okay, how many times you're gonna kill geniuses, kill innovators to protect the majority of the mediocrity system that is actually not functioning? How many times this is gonna happen? Because as a genius myself, let's say, I don't give a fuck about path A working. I can outwork in path A and get the results I fucking want. My entirety of existence is literally suffocating in path A. Not that I don't like it, that I cannot actually constitutionally function in it. I literally made one video explaining AI governance and whatever in the simplest forms possible, and because it was so suffocating to make that into 1 minute video that other people resonate with whatever, to gain the attraction and whatever necessary to then scale up to actual my level, I had to write for 6 hours of most complicated and complex systems I've ever written in my 18 years of writing to compensate for that. It's literally, it suffocates me. The simplicity and the stupidity of the world around me just suffocates me. It's not that I don't like it, it's that it rejects every cell in my existence. And people don't understand this because most people are mediocre performing excellence. And what happens is mediocre people celebrate their own mediocrity as excellence. For actual people who function on that level of excellence and generational actual outlier status, they cannot actually breathe in the mediocrity of other people. It's not a choice, it's not an ego act, it's literally you suffocate. So basically what I posted on was about that. So one of my connections connected me to the CEO of W Social, which is trying to replace Twitter. And I said, hey, one, X is actually superior alphabetically to W. So that's one subconscious messaging that you're saying, okay, we're inferior version to X or Twitter. Second, you are saying, okay, W is a win, or they think they're so smart, it's we. And they literally kind of market themselves that way, we. That's the level of complexity of wordplay that these people can actually handle, we and the W, and wow, sophisticated. But actual practical sophistication of that would be to name the fucking platform Z to attract the Gen Z and say, hey, this platform is explicitly made for Gen Z and its resonance and familiarity in the word itself. And that's one thing. And the other thing is China that they want to defeat, and the US that they want to defeat, that Macron is literally saying 1 year later than actual my fucking thesis, was that our children cannot have the thinking of China and US. So the genius move we're gonna make is that now, after 5-10 years of social media, now it is addictive. Now it is addictive, and we're gonna say, okay, this goes against digital rules, whatever, DSA and whatever, because they want to push their own platforms. One of them is literally W Social. And what's gonna happen is that China is already playing the next game, which is Verwin's Meet, Song Wukong, or Genshin Impact, Neverness to Everness, Ananta. All of these have literally social aspects of the game that they don't actually need Twitter. In Verwin's Meet, you can literally upload your TikTok dance in the game, and the character in the game is gonna literally mimic that. You can upload everyone's face in that. There are like millions of videos. You literally can be Keanu Reeves, Trump, whatever, in the game. And this is literally constructing the identity of the next generation. So you ban under 16 years olds from TikTok, from Instagram, from whatever. What's gonna happen? What happens is that you literally are making it into the thing that they're gonna go, okay, play these games. You can literally marry another person in Where Dreams Meet. Ananta has literally its own social media in the game. In Neverness to Everness, you can date your characters, hand holding, hugging, whatever. And these games are all Chinese. And they're literally representing the way of Chinese thinking, their morality, their view of the world, and literally constructing the ideas and kind of identity of their 8 years olds till 16 years olds that are getting banned on social media. So it's just so stupid that they don't see this. Imagine like you've been a policymaker for 30 years of your fucking life and you don't see this. You're trying to make your W social. And it's just like so suffocating that some random person who has no knowledge of nothing just messages me, hey bro, I want to help you out. You're not gonna get impressions from this. Of course I'm not gonna get impressions from this because the world wants what? 1 minute video of me subtitling my everything I'm saying, showing 67 meme to resonate with people, having a background of books, having a tie, having a suit. So I literally have 1 minute of thought translated to the least comprehensible degree, so 5 people agree with me. So literally I'm gonna have to perpetuate the mediocrity that I cannot actually breathe in to actually change something through perpetuating this mediocrity myself. I need to literally suffocate myself to get a place to breathe in. And everyone sees that as logical because they are not constitutionally rejected by the mediocrity, and they don't actually they're living and they're breathing in this mediocrity. Their constitution and how they're wired is not rejecting this mediocrity. Of course they're gonna say that. And what satisfies me about the whole situation is that I have the paper trail of all of that. And eventually when I find 1 or 2 pieces of shit who's gonna be either policymakers or one of the 50 bestsellers I know, one of the 50 lawyers I know, one of the 50 fucking policymakers that I know, one of them is gonna give me the fucking platform because they have no choice. They see where my trajectory is going, so they want to either join or be a footnote in my fucking legacy. And when one of these is gonna actually support my ascension, then the rest of the world is gonna say, wow, we always knew it, we always whatever. Then you use that leverage and show people how stupid they are, because how can you predict something 5 years earlier, 2 years earlier, with exact steps of what's gonna happen, and people say, oh, this is just illusion. While the people in power, who are supposed to be the go-tos to this thing, they confront this and say, wow, this is right. Why haven't I seen this before? So many times I send my writing to policymakers, to strategic thinkers, whatever, and I hear this every single fucking day. Wow, I wish I had written that. You couldn't have, because you don't have the capability, mental capability of actually conceiving this opinion, that idea in your actual brain. I don't give a fuck if you have been holding status and you have been holding a position of power for 20 years. When a 50 years old, 60 years old bestseller, global kind of philosopher, policymaker constantly, every single fucking time you send something about policy, thinking, strategic, geopolitics, and whatever, they literally reply to you, I wish I had written that. Where is the depth of actual mediocrity that is governing the world? When a fucking 50, 60 years old is telling a 26 years old, I wish I had written that, and he himself is a Pulitzer Prize winner, all of the credentials that you can pull out of your ass and give someone, they admit they're lacking in actual cognitive capability to do this, and still your gate kept by these bunch of retards who don't get any job done. It just fascinates me how 26 years old can see something so clearly happening in the world and predicting every step of the way, and people who are supposed to have that kind of responsibility as their fucking job, they're just trying to make the next EU-wide Twitter, European Twitter. It's just like so fascinating to me that I cannot understand these people. And now I'm told, oh, you need to be seen because you're not doing it the right way. You're just literally dumping your thoughts with the actual precision of your cognition on people who are just so dumb that they don't understand anything. You need to have a tie, you need to have a suit, you need to be in a glorious kind of library, so people who actually don't understand what you're saying, they're seeing that you are a very important person. It's just like, I just don't understand how you're supposed to go against something that is suffocating you by participating in it. I see so many writers, so many thinkers, so many whatever, and they're just mediocrity at a scale, and they're celebrated for literally fucking common sense. That's literally the state of the world. And what kind of fascinates me is that these people are celebrating other people like themselves who are the epitome of mediocrity as excellence, because they're billionaires, because 8 billion people who don't understand anything about anything are celebrating them about understanding everything about everything. Every celebrity, every singer, every kind of actor is a geopolitical expert because they have 10,000 likes on their Instagram. It's just like such a fascinating world we're living in, that the more mediocre you are, you're gonna be backed with more numbers of more mediocrity and gamified attention. So you're gonna be the authority to everything. You're gonna be expert in everything. Yeah. But I'm making these videos because in less than 10 years, I'm actually gonna be holding these powers. And this is either a kind of reality check for myself, that I don't become one of these pieces of shit around me that I abhor with my totality of identity, and also that there's a paper trail. Yeah, I didn't become whatever I fucking became at 40. I was this when I was fucking 8 years old, holding a pen, writing my opinions on the page, not giving a fuck about whatever the fuck whoever the fuck thinks. History has a way to fuck with you this way. But yeah, that's the video, with no ties, no fucking suits, and no fucking library behind me.